What is up, family? I'm so happy, honored, excited, everything above to be your host tonight of Rewrite the Scripts. I got some heat lined up for y'all, so I hope you guys are as excited as me right now. Drop some threes in the chat if you guys are as excited as me right now. All right? Well, I'm probably going to drop the biggest bomb tonight right off the bat. So I hope you guys are ready. You got your notebooks because note takers are money makers, right? So, a man is as he thinketh, right? A man is as he thinketh. Now, I got the Bible with me. Some call it the entrepreneurship Bible, but to me, it's more of a lifestyle Bible, right? It's more of a life Bible, and some of y'all know it, some of y'all don't. But Think and Grow Rich, right? If you guys do not have this book in your possession, I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys go get it. $10 off of eBay. This book, if you apply the knowledge within this book, it will change your life. If you apply the knowledge within this book, it will change your life. But the reason why I brought this book out was because I wanted to share with you guys a poem in the faith chapter, right? And it reads, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win, but think you can't, it is almost certain you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out of the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man. But soon or late, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Oh my goodness. Drop some fire emojis in the chat for that. The man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Right? That's in Hebrew 11:1. You must have faith. Right? You have to trust the process in anything that you are doing if you want to achieve the high level of success. Right? Regardless of what your mom thinks, regardless of what your dad thinks, your auntie thinks, your uncle thinks, your brother, your sister, your children, it does not matter. Right? Because you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in the future. I highly recommend you guys get a notebook and a whiteboard, especially for this industry, and write your vision on it. Right? I have my vision board up here. I have my thought board. I have my sacrifices and my daily disciplines on here. So I know what I have to implement into my brain every single day for me to keep growing to eventually reach my highest potential. Right? I just called Maldo. I FaceTimed Maldo the other day and showed him my bathroom mirror. Right? I showed him my mom's bathroom mirror and I wrote all over it in Expo marker. Right? And right at the top of my bathroom mirror, it states, I am successful as fuck. I am a multimillionaire. Right? I only attract positivity, prosperity, love, loyalty, honesty, riches. Right? I am healthy. I am grateful. Right? So I can see that every single day to implement into my brain for me to build my faith. Right? There's a scripture written up on my thought board. And it states, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads it runs to it. And even though it tarry, and tarry means take a long time, but even though it tarry, wait for it, surely it will come at an appointed time. That's Habakkuk 2:2. Now that's in the Bible, right? That's not in the rich people's copy. That's in everybody's Bible. Problem is, everybody doesn't do it. Right? And if you don't do it, it's going to be too hard. Right? It's almost impossible. But it doesn't come when you want it to come. It comes at an appointed time. right? But that's the trick. The appointed time is what throw people off, right? See, as soon as you ask the higher power for something, it gets shipped to you immediately, right? As soon as you ask for it, it gets boxed up and it gets shipped to you immediately. The problem with the package is you're never given the date that the package will arrive. Right? Because if you were told the date when the package would arrive, it would destroy the requirement the higher power has on all of us, which is faith. Right? Faith is the belief in things you cannot see. Write that down. Right? Faith is the belief in things you cannot see. If you were told by the higher power that you were going to receive $1 million by December 1st, 2022, you wouldn't need any faith, right? You'd be talking to people crazy saying, I'm finna be a millionaire. But $1 million was sent to you as soon as you asked for it. But it's going to come at an appointed time. Problem is, people stop waiting on the package, right? Then when it gets to you, because it only delivers to Faith Street, right? The package only delivers to Faith Street. You stepped off of Faith Street, right? You over on I'll Believe It Boulevard, right? Or It Took Too Long Avenue. It doesn't ship there, right? Faith Street is just like the post office of FedEx. If you're not there to receive it, it's got to go back. That's how it works. If you're not there to receive it, it's got to go back. Right? I'm going to be honest, one of the best books to read is the Bible. If you read the book of Proverbs over and over and over again, it's a book of wisdom and understanding. If you apply that knowledge, it will really help your life. I'm going to be honest with you, that's the only book that I've read in the Bible cover to cover. And I know some scriptures. I know about 3 to 4 scriptures, but those 3 to 4 have helped me get to where I am today. Right? There's people who know the Bible inside and out and have nothing to show for it. You know why? Because they memorized it, but they didn't apply it. Right? Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. And most of y'all want to apply this knowledge and keep living the same life you're trying to escape from. Because you were programmed to lose. But you're born to win. So how do we reprogram our minds to win? First, we must escape the rat race. Type in the chat if y'all know what the rat race is. Type in the chat if y'all know what the rat race is, right? Well, Mason, how do I escape the rat race? You have to start thinking for yourself. You have to start thinking for yourself. Sometimes the only person who knows what's best for you is yourself, right? Sometimes you have to stop listening to what everyone else thinks you should do and do what you think you should do. Right? But we're programmed to look externally for answers when that's not the case. Right? It's never been an easier time than right now to break out of the matrix, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Right? If you don't want to be like these rats and caught in the race, you have to start thinking for yourself. Right? You have to get uncomfortable. You have to experience things that may seem risky to other people. But what even is risk? Right? Because we're not making it out physically alive anyway. Right? I think the biggest risk of all is not taking any. Because I don't know about you, but I would rather die trying to live a life like that. Right? We're all programmed to search for happiness outside of ourselves. Right? The next big sale at Kohl's or the next rager this weekend. Right? All these things just for a quick dopamine hit. The only place where you can find eternal peace and pleasure is internal. Right? If you keep looking for stuff outside of yourself to fulfill you, you be that guy who gets rich to look rich, right? Instead of get rich to build wealth. Right? And you get that Ferrari and everyone's like, oh shit, he made it. Let's go. Only for you to short realize that even that fast car you worked your whole life for does not separate you from everyone else. Right? You're still stuck in traffic like everybody else. You still get tickets like everybody else. You're still prone to theft like everyone else, right? So you sit there and say, wow, my life was going so good. How could it just fall apart like that? So you look for the next best thing. Right? Bars on every corner. Oh, let me go hit up my boys. Let's go get squashed tonight, right? And have fun for a very brief amount of time. If you don't start thinking for yourself, you'll end up just like that. right? You work a job you hate, relies on things outside of themselves for peace and pleasure, and experience temporary highs your whole life. I don't want that for you, and I know you don't want that for yourself, right? So let's rewrite the script, right? Let's tap into our God-given abilities that separate us from every single species on this planet, right? Let's tap into those abilities that were given to us to create our own environment. What are they? You see, all the other creatures are completely at home in their environment. However, unlike chameleons and other animals that blend into their environment, you and I are totally disoriented in ours. Why is that? It's because a higher power gave us mental faculties to create our own environment, and effectively using those mental faculties allows us to create any life and environment we want. Right? Only 1 to 2 people out of 10 can actually name their mental faculties and how to use them properly. Drop in the chat if y'all have ever heard of your mental faculties. No one? They don't teach this shit in school, right? So it doesn't surprise me that so few people understand how to use their mental faculties, right? Instead, teachers tell us about the 5 physical senses we share with the rest of the animal kingdom, right? The ability to see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, right? These senses are given to us so we can communicate and correspond with the outside world. But that's how my dog corresponds with the outside world, right? I'm not a dog, right? I am a creative being, right? These sensory factors they're like little antennae that bring in information that's outside of us, right? Our physical senses are great for what they were intended to do, but we give them too much power, right? We allow our sensory factors to get us in trouble, right? We let what we see on the news and our current circumstances, such as what's in our bank account, control our lives, right? Unlike other creatures, we don't have to be subjective to what's going on around us. We are creative beings and we can change our circumstances, right? That's where our 6 faculties come in, right? Imagination, will, intuition, memory, reason, and perception, right? Even though you're already using each of these faculties, there's a good chance that you often use them unconsciously to create the results you don't want. Right? So you have to increase your awareness. Exploring and strengthening your mental faculties greatly improves your chances of creating and enjoying the life you want. Right? So we're going to dive a little deeper into these faculties. Imagination. Your imagination allows you to create something out of nothing. It's what you use to take something that is non-physical and turn it into physical. Right? When you create an image of something you want in your mind, you've raised your frequency of thought to that level, right? And you're capable of doing or getting it. However, many times we use this faculty the wrong way by imagining bad things happening to us, right? Or other things we don't want. But the key is to learn how to use your imagination consciously and purposefully to create the experiences that you want most in life. The will, right? When President John Kennedy asked Dr. Wernher von Braun, what will it take to build a rocket that would carry a man to the moon and bring him back safely to Earth? Von Braun said, the will to do it, right? The will allows you to hold one idea on the screen of your mind to exclusion of all outside distractions that are begging for your attention through your physical senses, right? It gives you the ability to concentrate, to focus your attention on one thing. People have trouble staying focused, right? They bounce around from one thing to another and never really finish anything, right? I'm guilty of it, and I'm sure some of you are too, right? But when you use the will as it was designed to be used, your thoughts become much more powerful. And your sustained concentration allows you to get a lot done in a short time, right? You ever get that feeling in your stomach when you walk into a room that doesn't feel right? Right? You get that feeling, it's like, ooh, I don't like this feeling. I don't like the feeling about this, right? That's your intuition. That's the higher power's way of talking to you, right? It's a small voice inside that speaks your truth, right? It also gives you the ability to pick up other people's thoughts and to read their energy, right? As you learn to turn down the volume of the noise around you and turn up the volume of your intuition, your life will become fuller and you'll feel more connected to others. Okay? There is no such thing as a bad memory, right? There are only weak and strong memories. And just like a muscle, you can develop your memory by a phenomenal degree through exercise, right? Our faculty of reason is what we use to think, analyze, compare, and evaluate ideas, right? Reason is the ability to think and choose what information we accept, stir up, and use to come up with brand new ideas, right? You can use reason to pluck other people's thoughts or to build and create your own ideas from the ether, right? Or the spiritual realms. Guys, we don't see with our eyes, we see through our eyes. And for that reason, we often see things that aren't there, right? Your perception is your point of view. It controls what you become aware of in your environment and how to choose to see it, right? There's duality in most of everything, a front and back, and up and down, and in and out, a good and bad, right? In everything. And we always have the choice of what to focus on, right? In your subconscious mind, perception determines what we become aware of. Right? We're flooded with billions of bits of information every second in our conscious mind, and we can only process a tiny fraction of them. Right? Two main criteria determine what gets through. What agrees with our beliefs and what our mind believes is important to us. Right? Napoleon Hill said an educated man is not necessarily one who has an abundance of general or specialized knowledge. An educated man is one who has so developed the faculties of his mind that he may acquire anything he wants or its equivalent without violating the rights of others. Right? Albert Einstein said, in our society, we honor the servant, the rational mind, right? And have forgotten the gift of our intuitive minds or the mental faculties. Right? There are few problems with letting your rational mind run or control your life, but one of the biggest ones is that your rational mind is largely controlled by irrational paradigms. Right? Your power in creating the life you want lies in using your mental faculties to help you change your paradigms. Right? But before we talk about paradigms, let's first understand conscious and subconscious mind. Right? So the mind is split up into two parts. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking mind, the educated mind, right? It's the intellect. It has the ability to choose, accept or reject, and be original, right? The subconscious mind is the emotional mind, right? It cannot reject, it must accept, and it cannot determine the difference between what is real or imagined. Okay, the conscious mind is split up into two parts. We have inductive and deductive reasoning. Right? Subconscious is only deductive. Inductive means we choose our thoughts, right? And thoughts are energy. Okay? And we choose the thoughts that are in harmony with where we're going or thinking. And everything that isn't in harmony is automatically rejected. Right? It just comes in and out. So if someone says you're not or you can't do something, you're not hearing that. Right? Because it's not in harmony with your thoughts. Right? That's how dreams are built. By thinking and using your imagination. Right? Then you plant it in your heart and it starts to grow. Right? And it starts to move into form. Deductive reasoning means since there is no inductive, our minds are wide open. Right? That's how most people go through life. That's how you arrived on the scene as a baby. Right? The subconscious mind can learn anything. Anything that comes along will go to your subconscious mind. Whatever was planted in your heart will grow in your life. Right? This is your emotional mind. So whatever is going on goes right in. Right? Your subconscious mind is totally subjective and must accept it cannot tell from good or bad. Right? So if you're talking to someone and their thoughts are dark, with your subconscious mind being wide open, you're taking all of that in. You know why? Because you're not thinking. Right? So when we look at a circumstance and we don't know how to do it, right? And we let the situation form in our mind that I don't know how, or I don't have time, or I don't have money for this right now, or I tried something once and I lost, right? And you see the circumstance arise, and because of that belief, you get emotionally involved in it. And as you get emotionally involved in it, it instantly puts you into the physical vibration, and it causes action that produces the same result. That's a cycle that people get locked into, right? Bob Proctor called it the self-doom fulfilling cycle, right? You have dreams, but you never really realize them because your dreams are something that come up in the mind, but the outside circumstance overpowers you and the dream fades, right? Then eventually you get to a point and say, that didn't even make any sense. Why was I even trying to do that? That was never going to work. What you should do is when you're in a circumstance with no money is not to focus on it, right? We can use one of our 6 mental faculties. Imagination, right? Like that SpongeBob meme. Imagination, right? We can use imagination to build everything we want. You use the power flowing into your conscious mind to build the image of what you want. It has nothing to do with what's going on outside, right? When you think of a past thought, like not having money, and you plant that into your heart, you get emotionally involved in it. Since you planted that, you continuously give energy to it, and it grows. That's how you build desire. That's how you manifest, right? That idea gets expressed to and through the body to create the result you want. But the one thing that holds everyone back from being able to manifest their dreams is the paradigm, right? Mason, what's the paradigm, right? Why are we talking about shapes, right? Guys, a paradigm is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And when I say almost, it's 95% of our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual, right? This is you today, right? We have all this shit like social media, the news, other people flooding our mind with negativity. But we have the ability to tell it all to leave. But we don't, right? And we leave it wide open, so it dumps right into our subconscious mind and leaves us kind of disturbed. Why do we do this? Because we're programmed to, right? Bob said, our thoughts must be so grounded upon knowledge that we shall feel the truth of it, and thus be able to produce in ourselves that mental attitude of feeling which corresponds to the condition which we desire to externalize. We've got to desire to build something beautiful in our minds, right? This is when the results are in control of you, right? We see the present results dominating our thoughts, right? You suppress that thought into the subconscious mind, getting emotionally involved in it, instantly putting you into the physical vibration of that thought, producing your behavior, causing your results. This is called the self-doom fulfilling cycle. This is how most of society lives their lives. This is why people keep getting the same results year after year after year after year after year. Right? Because they focus on the present results. Right? But when you flood your mind with originating prosperous thoughts, the present results are still there. They're just not in control. Right? And you suppress those thoughts into the subconscious mind, getting emotionally involved to them, instantly putting you into the physical vibration of that thought, allowing you to produce new behavior, causing new results. This is called winning. This is how you win. Right? Let's go fucking win. Let's go rewrite the script. Right? I appreciate you guys taking the time to hop on and expand your mind to what's possible. Right, next week I'll be going over exercises to develop your mental faculties to their highest potential. Right, you aren't ordinary. You were born to be extraordinary. Let's go create winning results, and I'll see you guys next week.